What's going on? It's your boy LeeBoi, and you are tuned in to another episode of the Ghetto. The Ghetto. Point of View podcast, sponsored by
Satellite music.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy LeeBoi, back with another episode of the Ghetto Point of View podcast. And today we got a special guest. Some might know him, some may don't. I personally got the pleasure of meeting him when I married my wife, or when I met my wife. That's her uncle. So he's a influence on me as far as manhood goes, as far as being a Christian, believer, even just walking life as a man, a parent, a father, a husband. And I don't want to, put too much on it, so I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Mitch Brad here. Thank you for having me, little brother. I truly appreciate it.
Of course.
It's a blessing to be able to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself, because you're trying to make a difference. You dig? So
Yes, sir.
I truly appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. And, for those who don't know, Mitch Brad is he be on TikTok dropping knowledge, man. And when I say knowledge, I mean knowledge in this. I don't know if he prepares for it or not, but I just know when I watch it, it just seems like almost like a sermon, like a mini sermon. I joke with my wife about it, like, oh man, Uncle Mitch a TikTok preacher, man. For real, cause you be sliding through, you see dances, you see jokes, you see all of that, and then boom, you hear this melodic, smooth, and then the deep voice. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's Mitch Brad here, and I love it. I love it personally.
Right on. Thank you.
So, just diving in, fatherhood. Could you, touch up on fatherhood? When did you first become a father, as far as your first child, and from that point to this point, how has it changed over time?
Okay. My first child was 1989. My oldest boy really wasn't around, and my other children came. My other son came in '93, and my last daughter came in 2001. Fatherhood has been hell.
Oh, okay.
So let's just get straight to it.
Yeah.
I was not a good father when I first started. I was born in a two-parent home, but didn't have a good relationship with my father. So I took to the streets. I'm born and raised south side Chicago. So I left, man, and I gravitated to the street and saw how the cats I was with, the old heads, they wasn't around their kids like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in that era where, you was just sleeping around with all these women. So my father was a good example, but because we had a bad relationship, I didn't see it then.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, I like that. That you said a lot there. So you saying you grew up in a two-parent household, but then you took to the streets due to you not seeing the love that your father had for you from the jump. In my last episode, I talked about finding your identity through the mess, right? And I gave an example about how me growing up, even though I didn't have, my mom died when I was 11, my dad was never there, I was still studious, I was still, advanced classes, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that I didn't have, go home and show my granny or something, hey, I got an A, well, that's what you're supposed to do. It's like, okay. But if I was getting in trouble, you'll beat my ass, you know what I mean? And I don't know the difference of the attention. As long as you're showing me attention.
Attention is attention.
Attention is attention.
Right.
So me not getting attention for being good, but getting attention for being bad, I kind of relate to you on that, as far as like, I don't see the love, so I'm going to go look for the love in the streets per se.
Right.
So with having your father, like what at what point did you say, you know what, this is not the love that I'm looking for?
Things began to go south in my freshman year of high school. My father was, he graduated college, Kansas State. He taught, historian, theologian, history buff. So he was really big on grades. If I got bad grades, the decision of our relationship weighed in the balance of my grades.
Wow. Okay.
So as I began to, and I hated school, man. I tested well, but I never really wanted to study.
Right.
I didn't know at that time that I can't prove that, but I believe I had some kind of, attention deficit, like ADD or something like that.
Yeah.
So the love I wanted, like I grew up with my mom, the hugging. I'm a very touchy, huggy, feely kind of guy. My father didn't hug me. Well, he's not even my biological father. But we'll get into that at a later day or a later time. But the love I needed from him, I didn't get. He first hugged me when I was 16.
Wow.
My brother, I had a younger brother, and he died. So he came to tell me, they were going to pull the plug. And that's when he hugged me at 16. And he had been in my life since I was 7.
Wow.
So I didn't get no hug. I didn't get no I love you. I didn't get that. The generation he came from, they didn't do all that.
Okay. Wow, man. Every question it just gets deeper. Wow, okay. So being hugged at the point of death. That's dramatic. I don't know, that's kind of eerie in a sense. Because you looking for love this whole time, and the only time you received it in your love language per se was when your brother died.
Yeah.
Was that his biological son?
No.
It wasn't. Okay.
My mother, me and my brother. It was my mother, me and my brother, and my uncle. We lived together. And then my mom met him at work.
Okay.
So I was about 7.
Okay.
My brother was 2. And that's when they met. And then shortly thereafter,
Right.
I didn't get no info and nothing. You know what I'm saying? He went from Mr. Melvin to dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No asking, they're asking how you feel, what do you think? This is who you finna be. That's what that was.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, because it was fun at first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a dad.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
And then reality hit.
Yeah, man. Okay. So, with your background, did that play significantly into how you parent, how you fathered?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how so?
Because I act just like him.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. But I got a lot of his mannerisms and traits. Well, I can't say traits because that's biological. But a lot of his mannerisms, some of his character, who he was, I didn't understand then. But he was showing me love the only way he knew how.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, with my children, I'm not going to say I was a horrible father all through their lives, but I'll say 50%, crap.
Yeah.
50% pretty good.
Okay.
But I made it a point to love on them.
Right.
But I was also hard on them.
Agree. I can concur with the hardship part. Like it's an even balance. Like you love how you were taught to love, and how you would want to love, but then also you gotta discipline and And in discipline, I feel like you kind of discipline more so against the thing that you don't want to, like, you might have seen in yourself. And it's like, okay, no, we not going this way, so I'm going to make sure, you know? And so I can agree with that, because that's how I am with my children, even though I've never been spanked by my father, never had enough time around him in the sense for him to reprimand me for anything or even congratulate me for anything. But I know my mom was definitely stern before she passed. My grandma, same thing, but I'm assuming that's where my mother would get it from. So moving along from the point of parenthood, at what point did you go into military?
Oh man, one of my children, but they were made while I was in the military.
Oh wow, okay.
I can say it now because I'm out. We went overseas, and he was conceived on the ship, as a lot of children were. At that time, you know what I'm saying? Because you on the water for months.
Wow.
You know, and I was on a submarine tender.
Okay.
So that was a ship that serviced the submarines, and they had men and women. It was about 1,200 men, 1,300 women. On one ship? On one ship. Wow. So, yeah, that's how that happened. But it was in the 90s.
90s, okay.
And I was still a kid.
What age?
I was 20. No, I went in 19. 19. I was 19 years old. And trying to navigate having a brand new little baby. And I've always been a wild child. I've just always, let me get that out the way. I've always been a wild child. I don't give a damn about what you're talking about. Plus, from where I was from, you know what I'm saying, from Chicago on the south side, man, you're going to either be GD or Lord, you know, ill or whatever, you know what I'm saying, without getting all into the specifics of it. But there was still that part of me, man, that was like, nigger, I was mad niggerish, man. Mad, and look, I don't take certain things, and at that time, it took, you know, that much to blow a fuse. So as a brand new father at that time, I didn't really know how to act. Man. You know, I didn't know how to act. And then the lady I was with, his mother, I won't speak ill of her, but, you know, eventually we went our ways. And the one thing she told me was, you'll never see your son. And that's kind of what made me flip the script a little bit. And was like, okay, let me get myself together. Because I was still running the street, whatever. And at that point, I was fearful that I would never see him again. So then I began to change. That's what happened for me.
Wow. And that's, you said a lot. Just now you said, you decided to get yourself together via the threat of your baby mother. I from experience, I know a lot of people that does the complete opposite. That's like a get out of jail free card. You tell me I'm not seeing my son again, or seeing a child that I, one, wasn't ready for, two, almost didn't want. That's a get out of jail free card. You said it's 1,300. I'm just saying, man. Like, that is, come on, man. That's a deadbeat's dream. To have a get out of jail free card, and then she's not threatening child support or, you know, making your life hard, especially if you're not witty enough to know that your son, your seed, is the most important thing in your life at that moment. Oh man, that's golden. That's the, you know, I know so many people that done the complete opposite. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's free. I can be free. I can continue to do what I want to do. I ain't never got to see the kid. I'll see him on my I'll try when I want to try. You know what I mean? And I commend you for just being a man and saying, you know what, I'm gonna get myself together because I want to be in my son's life. So, what as far as you being in the military, what you said you was on the submarine?
Submarine tender.
Submarine tender. What exactly does that entail?
You know, when the submarines pull in and they want to dock, we help them dock. We stock them, food, torpedoes, nuclear arms. You know, the whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? And we did that constantly. You know what I'm saying? And I want to go back for a second.
Yeah, for sure, no problem.
And then I'll hop back to where we are now. The reason I wanted to change is because I'd never seen my father, my biological father.
Yeah, that's important.
My biological father, the last time he saw me, I was 2. That was it. And then my mom got ghost because he didn't want to. She thought she could change him. Nah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was just that guy. He was in a band. He was smart. He could build a house, and he had buildings and all this other stuff. I never knew this cat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had been wanting to know who he was because my relationship with my stepfather was sour. So when I had my own kid, I was like, nah, I can't get ghost, man. I gotta be around for this cat, man.
Right.
Because I don't want this generational curse to continue to keep going.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's important.
So I want to put that part in there.
Yeah, we needed that.
Now going back to, you know, the thing on the ship is that, you know, for the most part, we serviced everything, you know, with the submarines, and I'll just leave it at that. We serviced them. You know,
that was important. Thank you for keeping me on track because that was a great segue into, you know, letting the people know like the reason why you wanted to change. Because you said that, you know, I had to change. I wasn't gonna see my son, but it's deeper than that. It's much deeper than that, and the people definitely need to hear that. There's somebody right now who contemplating or might have a woman pregnant and they thinking, you know, I don't know what we're gonna do or how we're gonna do. The female might be thinking, oh, I ain't finna let him see the kid, you know what I mean? So we needed that. Thank you for that.
Yes sir.
Okay, so moving on, you said you told us about the service, what exactly you did in the military. What how long were you in there?
I was in there for several years.
7?
Several.
Oh,
years,
several.
Several years.
Uh-huh.
And some things happened in the military. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there because I believe in being transparent.
Okay.
I'm a victim of military sexual trauma.
Wow.
And that broke me.
And how? Oh man. Okay.
I just, you know what I'm saying? The only reason why I want to say that is because I want whoever's listening to know, or when they watch this, to know that there are people out here who get it.
Yes.
And especially for men, you know, people say, well, how could a man do this, you know what I'm saying? And you can't tell everybody your business because they won't know how to respond, how you need for them to respond.
Yeah.
So because I've been dealing with this for so many years, it's easier for me to just blurt it, you know, pop it out because you can't hurt me anymore.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I did that. I suffered from that. Not even just the act itself, but the rest of my life was the aftermath. It was the aftermath for me. And that began a downward spiral for me. So for men, because people think that men can't go through that traumatizing experience because you're a man. And I say, well, if that's your ideology, then you're welcome to have that.
Yeah.
But it can happen and it does happen.
Yeah.
But because we are who we are as men, one of the things that I've learned is that I think by nature, we don't even want to be vulnerable in front of people.
Agreed.
Because people take your kindness for weakness and then they think you're a punk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I found myself fighting all the time, back and forth to jail all the time. Like, nigga, you want this smoke?
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm ready. I welcomed pain.
Man.
And at some points welcomed death.
Wow.
Because I did not know how to cope. Went through my first marriage. That was shit, you know.
Yeah.
And a nigga was just, man, I was... Have you ever not been living wrong, but you ain't been living right?
Yeah. Yes.
That was me.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to hold on, trying to hold my little thing.
Man.
But at the same time, in here, it's chaotic. So when I went up here by myself, I had no lock. I had no combination. So when I went in there and the doors closed behind me, oh my God, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
It was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm locked in here with just me, by myself, with no other people to give me insight, thought, help, support, any of that. And it was just me. And it was just, you know.
Okay, so question. What was that key? When you say when you go up here, you have no lock, no key, no combination to let yourself out. What makes it unlock itself, or because I mean, just to kind of clarify my question, I'm assuming that when you go up there by yourself, it's more so either in an act of rage, pain, or sadness, or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And so, what soothes that? What allowed you to come down at those times when you did go up?
Alcohol and crack cocaine.
Oh my gosh. Hey. Oh my gosh. Okay. I guess this is the part where we go into addiction.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So,
Right.
when did you pick up? Because I don't want to move too fast, but it's all gluing itself together, you know. When did you pick up those habits?
When I got out.
When you got out of the military?
Yeah, when I got
That's
out.
when you had
Man,
access to
I
it.
was, man. Well, I was drinking like really, really hard. I was drinking really, really hard in the military.
Man.
And I held on as long as I could. But I drank every day. Every morning I had, I think it was like a pint of vodka and a little half pint of orange juice.
Okay.
And that was my breakfast.
Wow.
I didn't eat
Breakfast of the
breakfast.
champ.
Man, yeah. And then at lunch, I would go get me a pitcher of beer from the bar. Yeah, yeah, man. That's what I did to try to maintain.
Wow.
You know, and then when I got out, it got really bad.
Yeah.
And you're talking about when I went upstairs and got locked in there.
Yeah.
What happened is that as I began to use drugs and alcohol, even more so like the crack cocaine or the heroin or whatever, it gave me some sense of relief.
Wow.
Cause now I'm just gone. My thing is I love to be gone.
Wow.
Up here. Cause if you doing drugs, man, I ain't thinking about that. I'm thinking about dope.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about liquor. I'm listening to my music. You know what I'm saying? I'm chiefing at the time too.
Wow.
So that's what happened.
Wow.
And it worked.
Wow.
Until it didn't.
Okay.
Then I had to go get help. That was the other key to set me free.
Wow.
I went to treatment. But this is years, this is decades of debauchery. You know what I'm saying? This is decades. Now, I admit, of course, you know, some decent women, most of them hoes. But there was some decent ones in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was like, I was at the club, like, man, make it clap, make it rain, make it do whatever it do, because I'm trying to get with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so that was a part of my life too, that fast lane, because of how I felt.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like a man because of what happened to me. So what I did was smack everything, move it. to prove to myself that I was man enough. So I'm smashing every woman I see. Every woman.
Man.
So
Wow.
when I got help, that's when the key really unlocked the door for me.
Okay. Wow. How do I even go into it? Okay. Cause man, we just got a lot. So you said your addictions were crack cocaine, heroin. You drank a pint of vodka and a half pint of orange juice in the morning. A pitcher of beer from lunch. How? Now I'm assuming that those were coping methods. I mean, you said, and this was what I wanted to say. You said you use those things to be free or to come down, and like I know people who use those things to go up, in a sense of they're such shells of themselves without it.
Yeah.
Were you a shell of yourself without it, or were you just you had one extreme and another extreme? Like when you're sober, are you just Mitch, or are you just somebody who you didn't recognize? Then you take the stuff and then you more so recognize yourself, or you take it and change into something you more so want it to be in your head.
Before I picked up actually the hard drugs, because I was just drinking in the military. I didn't do anything else. I didn't do any other drugs. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't mess with no dope. None of that. You know what I'm saying? I was just drinking.
Yeah.
But when the MST, what we call MST, happened to me, I became a shell of myself then. What the alcohol did for me was help me to maintain and be Mitch. You know what I'm saying? I knew just how much to drink to just get my day going.
Wow.
Because it was like a regimen. You know what I'm saying? It was a regimen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that shell was already there.
Wow. It was created through the MST.
Right.
Wow.
And it left me not knowing who I am or what I am.
Wow.
Because at this phase, was it something I did? Was it, did they see something? Did I present something? And I battled with that. Like, what the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to think. But when I got that drink, I was like, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I know who I am, man. You know, I'm cool now. But but as time went on, I drank more and more and more. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just no pint.
Yeah.
It was a fifth in the morning.
Man.
Get up, walk to the stove, you know, or just get a gallon and bring it to the crib and then just drink until I pass out. And then the next morning when I come to, not wake up. Because when you're drinking like that, you don't go to sleep and pass out. You don't wake up, you come to. So that's what that was my regimen right there. And that kept Mitch afloat. That kept me on somewhat of an even keel until the dope came into play. You know what I'm saying? And the dope is what threw me over that's what threw me over the top.
Wow. Would you mix dope with alcohol, or?
Of course.
Okay.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Okay.
That's how you're supposed to get out.
Okay.
That's what the old heads told me, you know what I'm saying,
Wow.
back home. You know? So I get what I'm going to get, you know, and I'm going to do that. Either I'm going to smoke it or, including meth.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That damn rocket fuel. You know what I mean? I did that. You know, get you a little rocket fuel and then have you a couple of drinks to even yourself out so you ain't sitting here looking all crazy and shit. You know, which sometimes I went over the edge. You know what I'm saying? The people like, hey man, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
And they like, hey, 'cause back in the day, my nickname was Mo, right? So, dude was like, Mo, you good? Yeah. And you like, nigga, nah, man, what's going on with you? I'm good. So,
Overly good.
man, overly good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, and it got worse. It got worse. Then pretty soon I didn't care about how I looked,
Man.
what I smelled like, you know, nothing. Wore the same clothes for like 6-7 months.
Wow.
You know,
Got that bad.
man, yeah, I went down to 160 pounds.
At how tall?
This tall.
Wow. Mind you, man, he like 6'3".
6'3", 230.
He like 6'3", 230. And
Right.
you went down to 160.
160. I'll put my picture up, you know, on TikTok. And I had my little niece, my little niece, and I was like, she sent it to me, and I was looking, I'm like, damn, man,
I'm gonna put that in the video.
I'm gonna put that up there, yeah, so other people can see. It looked like I got a long ass neck,
Yes.
and a big head. I'm like, I look like a sucker in a sweater.
Wow, man.
I was 160 pounds, man, at this height.
Wow.
And you can't tell a crackhead he don't look cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm alright.
Yeah.
No, nigga. No, you're not. Do you see you?
Man, so what made you told us what made you change in the military? What made you change in your addiction?
I got tired of losing. You know what I'm saying? You sell everything. You sell everything. I hate when people tell me what they won't do. Nigga, don't tell me what you won't do when you want dope, man.
Wow.
I sold everything from my clothes to the meat out my freezer, all of that. But what made me want to be different is I got tired of being tired, and I was sitting in the dope house, and I was like, I had no money. I had no more money. I spent my whole paycheck.
Man.
And I'm sitting in there and I'm like, God, there has to be something better than this. I'm gonna die out here. I overdosed twice.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Thank God he said it's not time. But what made me really want to change is that the benefits of me using ran out. And the consequences became heavier.
Wow.
So when the consequences outweigh the benefits, that's when you like, yeah, I gotta do something different. I gotta do something different. And that's what made me want to do something different. It wasn't for my wife. It wasn't for at that time. It wasn't for her, which she was in her addiction.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't for none of them.
Wow.
I was like, look, I gotta stop, man. I gotta stop. And she was like, okay, well, I'm not ready to stop. All right, cool. I gotta go.
Wow. So I'm seeing something here. The place you used to run to, you know, when you would get upset, you know, that locked closet. Once you got tired of the addiction, did it become a safe haven?
No.
No.
No. I always take somebody up here. I gotta take somebody up here with me. You need to have someone to bounce ideas off of. You need to have people that will sow into your life.
Right.
And to give you support. There is no one man that can do it alone.
Yeah.
No. Why the hell you think God gave us a woman, man? It's a helpmate.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do this alone.
You did say though that she was in her addiction and wasn't ready to change.
Yes.
So I was asking that in the form of you escaping from that possession of addiction.
Yes.
To kind of go away to be like, okay, I need to get myself together. How to get myself together? God, you know, how do I get this together? That's where I and sorry for even putting it on you in that fashion.
No.
But I just wanted to know if that became a place where you like that locked door was once negative. Did it become positive in the sense of, okay, the physical place that I'm in isn't supporting the person that I'm trying to become?
Yes, I'll say yes to that, and I'm going to say it's a two-part. And I had to go back and say, yes, it became positive up here.
Okay.
But I'm an addict. So it's my responsibility to take somebody with me.
Yeah.
Because people are now holding me accountable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and it's not just like a dependent or nothing like that, but you got family members, you got your damn kids, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, even though they were little, my oldest boy, he's seen a lot of me. Man, me and my ex-wife was stuck in a room for like 6 months, man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? My daughter, she knocked on the door, wanted something to eat. This is how trifling I was. I went downstairs, grabbed a can of corn, opened it up, stuck a spoon in it, and gave it to her.
And how old was she?
4.
Wow.
That's how the addiction takes you, man. And that's what again, I'll reiterate that people say what they won't do until they do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a plan until you get hit in the mouth.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to step back, from my ex-wife as well, and to say, I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
My life has to be more than this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bought a house, had the 2-car garage, all that. Lost it.
Sorry, man.
No, man.
It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, man. He said, 2-car garage, lost it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Selling my clothes, selling my shoe. Man, my dress clothes. Oh my God, man.
Hey, mind y'all, he kicking it right now, but this is one, he's sharper than attack.
Thank you.
He be sharper than attack. So listen, go ahead, about the dress clothes.
So I was selling my dress clothes. First I was looking at me, you walk in your closet, but you geeking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, what can I sell? And I'm looking at my clothes. And there's always the other side of you that's like, nigga, don't you do it.
Right, you gonna need
Don't
that.
do it. I was like, shit. Wipe these off. Put them in, man, you know what I'm saying? Because I keep all my dress shoes in my box, and, stack them in the, I still do it to this very day.
Yeah.
The only difference is I have them today. So I started, man, I was a big Jersey fanatic too, you know. My brother had got me a Derek Jeter jersey.
Off it.
Man. And it wasn't nothing but for 2 bags, man. So in 2 hours, I was like,
no
damn.
jersey, no dope.
Oh, well, let me go get the rest of this shit.
What else I got? Yeah.
Man, went down to the freezer. Hey, you want some steaks? I was real big on steaks and ribs.
Wow.
Salt the meat out my freezer. Just random stuff. Then it got to the point where I was like, all right, you know. And it's embarrassing, but I would catch people at the ATM. Hey, I'm so sorry, but you already know what this is. Let's not make it a scene. You know, just put another 0 in there and give it to me, and I'm gonna go and get out your hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry again. You know, and they'd be like, man. I'm like, yeah, this does suck.
Yeah. Let me get it, please.
So I can go ahead and go.
Wow.
You know?
Man.
But that's a part of that
You went
life.
from robbing yourself and to robbing other people. Wow.
Yeah, man. But that's how addiction does. You know, alcoholism is still an addiction.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got people addicted to sex, drugs, addicted to money, addicted to a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, it was just like chaos became a norm. You know what I'm saying? Chaos became a norm for me until I got into recovery. And I did that out here.
Okay.
And my wife now, she's been there the whole entire time, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Pushing me
Yeah.
and letting me know, yeah, you can do it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You can do this. And when you got somebody behind you that's, you know what I'm saying, that's a God-fearing woman, and she like, look, we ain't taking no losses.
Yeah.
We ain't taking no losses.
Yeah.
Nigga, let me repeat it. We ain't taking no losses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because she took some losses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the kids were still there too.
Wow.
My daughters. So I got a grip on things. Me and God had a really good conversation. And he told me, like, you ain't got too many more chances to be playing.
Were you high when you had this conversation with God?
Of course.
Okay. And how did this go, to your recollection? How did it go?
I know exactly how it went. You keep going back, you're going to die.
Plain.
Period. God is the God that talks to me is not the one that people talk about with the still small voice. You know, that's, you know, God get it me how he get it. You know, not Mitch Brad, how he get it Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yo, my man, what's up? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You ain't got too many more chances, homie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that now. Going back out there, get your ass toe off. And then you're gonna be stuck out there.
Amen.
I'm gonna let you sit out there.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Wow.
And then I came back again, and he was like, you ready? I've been going ever since. You know what I'm saying? I've been cool ever since. That's why I don't drink. I don't don't do no dope, no drugs, no none of that. You know what I'm saying? But that's how he gets at me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he holds me accountable. That's the one thing that I was really tired of, man. I don't want to be held accountable because then I got to be responsible.
Wow. So you said a lot, but you don't want to be accountable because then you got to be responsible. Accountability and responsibility, most people take those words with a grain of salt as if they just the same words.
Right.
Could you elaborate on the difference between accountability and responsibility?
Sure. Accountability is being in a place where others look to you to do what you're supposed to do, right? Responsibility is being able to carry that out, to be able to carry that through. You going to work every day. Babe, you going to work? Yeah. Well, why you ain't up? She's holding me accountable. What's my responsibility? Get my ass up, get dressed, bathe, whatever, get dressed, hit it, get to work. Because I got to bring that paper home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got mouths to feed, we got bills to pay, we got things we would like to do. But being accountable, and what that also does, holding someone accountable, it helps them to become responsible. It helps them to become more responsible. It helps them to hone in on those skills of being responsible for not only themselves, but for their surroundings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of course we gotta be responsible for our children, responsible for our spouses, and we're responsible for our home.
Yeah.
You know, the things that we can control. You know what I mean? So to me, that's the difference between the two. They may be a little bit similar to some people, but to me, they're two totally different words.
For sure. I agree. Definitely can be accountable and irresponsible, but you are held accountable and irresponsible. Like if I rely on you in a sense to make it on time, like you said, to the job, I'm your boss. I'm relying on you to get there on time, and then you don't. That's irresponsible on your behalf. Not only does that affect us as a business, it affects you personally. It affects your pockets because you're missing hours on your paycheck. I might fire you, you know what I'm saying? But also, I'm missing you, so now I gotta find somebody else to fill your spot. And you know what I mean? So it definitely sets off a domino effect. So I thank you for clarifying that.
Yes, sir.
You also said that your wife was God-fearing. I know you personally as one of the men of our church, one of the deacons. But I'm sorry, I don't want to put a term on you. Are you?
No, just a brother.
Okay, so you're a brother in our church. So what led you to God? You said you had that conversation with God in the midst of your addiction. What led you to God?
Recovery. Recovery. Well, I grew up in church. My mother, she took us to church religiously. We were there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and back to Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was just the norm for us. So I grew up in church because I had to. And then when I got to a certain age, I stopped going because I had to go. So I don't want, if you make me do something I don't want to do, then, you know what I'm saying, eventually when I get old enough, I'm going to do something different.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? The bad part about that is when you have that mindset or that ideology that I can't wait till I get grown, what you do is you miss the bigger picture. I had a lot of fun in church too. You know what I'm saying? I sang my first solo at 5. I had so many different family members that were there. It was a huge church. Mount Pisgah Missionary Baptist Church, 4600 South King Drive, never forget it, South Side. So I enjoyed certain aspects of church. Before I go any further, for people who are listening, even though you're forced to go to church, don't stop going when you get old.
Yeah.
Satan is waiting for that decision.
Yeah.
He's hoping you change your mind about church. You know what I'm saying? If you in church, stay in church. Right. If that ain't the one for you, find one that you can get out with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you leave, he's like, yes.
Got him.
Man, thank you. Because that's what I did, man. Man, that's what I did. I'm out. You going to church? What? You know what time I got in last night?
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Until I got older and I began to understand that he'll wait. Satan is patient.
Wow.
That nigga will wait, man.
Wow.
Because he waited for me. He waited for me. Like, yes, now I can run your ass raggedy.
Wow.
And that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it was about church, man. I mean, I love the aspect of church. The church we're at now, at New Bethel. Of course, I've been knowing y'all for, man, a good minute, years. And I'm comfortable with church because I know who I am, number one. My life is not mine, number two. And number three, I know what my purpose and my design is now.
Amen.
You know, from Pastor E, helping me to figure out who I was, with that 30-day prayer challenge and some other stuff.
Wow.
And, when I did that one night special, which I want to plug
we'll
plug in later.
Yep.
So we'll do that. And watching y'all. Young cats, man. I didn't see too much of that when I was growing up. I saw a lot of old people in church, man. A lot of old people.
Yeah.
I ain't see too many young cats in church, man. I saw tons of old people.
Yeah.
And now where we at now, you know what I'm saying? Even though y'all was young then, seeing y'all as adults, I'm like, wow. Okay. Yeah. This is what's up.
Yeah.
So it's extremely important to be connected somewhere.
Agree. I definitely agree. Before we do the plug, you were speaking about how your life is not yours, and that's some things that we I feel like is important for us to like touch on briefly. Letting the people know exactly what that means. My life is not mine.
My life is not mine because God gave it to me. I am a spiritual being in a physical form. So it's His. I'm just here on loan to y'all. My life is for you. So when I go, you know what I'm saying, you got something to, snag onto or hold on to and then pass it down. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
We're supposed to pass this down. You know what I'm saying? That's why our lives are not for us. Our blessings are not just for us. Our blessings and the prayers that we pray, are for my children's 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 children. I would like to plant the seed that the tree will give shade that I will never see.
Wow, man. And so if you are planting a rotten tree, what do you yield?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, it won't be a tree. It's going to be a bush.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing to feed into it.
Right.
But if you plant garbage, what you expect you're going to get back. You know what I'm saying? If you put $1 in your gas tank, where are you going?
Nowhere. Okay. And that's what I want to touch on, because a lot of people don't understand that. So they think they're just living their life because it's their life. Yeah, I'm driving the car and you can't tell me how to drive, but if I crash the car, I'm at fault for all of us. So why can't it be the same when you're just driving the car? Like, hey, you might want to slow down here. Take this little piece of advice. I'm not telling you how to drive. Just maybe slow down so that we don't crash, and then you're at fault for all of us.
What I like the way you put that. First of all, I love the analogy. Being both married men when you with your spouse. Babe, turn here.
Yeah.
And you're like, baby, I know where we're going.
Yeah.
We've been here before. Babe, slow down just a little bit. You want me to pull over?
Right.
Because I
Exactly.
can pull over and you can get over here.
Exactly.
But what they're doing is looking out for us. That's their way of looking out for us. And not even so them, but just looking out for us in general by giving us that little tidbit of information. So that little tidbit of information can help you avoid the wreck.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That'll help you avoid the wreck.
Exactly.
And when you look at it, especially when you're doing like a sibling, your older brother, your younger brother, you're right. It's our responsibility to say something. If I don't say something, man, you know what I'm saying? That's on me.
Yeah.
And because we are who we are, we're responsible for other people.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people are not going to get that. Because of we are who we are and who we belong to. Jesus Christ, hello. We responsible for people.
Amen.
You have to tell me some things, yo, look, man, that's not cool, man.
Yeah.
You need to tighten up on your backstroke.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for especially men, put the ego down. Don't ego trip. I know I may have bruised your ego, but I'd rather bruise your ego than to bruise your ass.
Yeah.
Now, would you rather save your face or save your ass? That's you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You gotta be able to do that and feel comfortable with what you're saying. Okay, I'm not trying to tell you how to do everything, but I am gonna tell you what I believe I should tell you.
Yeah. Amen. I like that. Okay. One more question prior to the promotion. Since this is, I am an artist. What do you think? What is your opinion on the state of hip hop music in general?
First of all, I'm a huge fan of hip hop. I grew up in the era, you know what I'm saying? I was a little kid when I first was listening to Kool Herc. From New York, the music that we listened to, In Chicago, we listen to everything East Coast. I know there were some who listened to some, down south music, but we didn't know anything about that at that point. Everything was coming out of New York. Everything was coming out of the East Coast at that time. And like for me, I'm a huge hip hop fan. My two favorite of all time for me is Busta Rhymes and DMX. You know what I'm saying? I love. That's just every album. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't rap, don't know how. I tried it, didn't sound right. Nigga, it was like one fish, two fish. No, I was like, I'll stick to singing. Yeah. But I love hip hop. Yeah. What's going on now with the generation? The young cats, y'all guys. If you got something to say, I'm with you. Yeah. But it just can't be about, excuse my language. Yeah. Bitches, hoes, rims, drip, floss. It's got to be something more than just that. Yeah. I'm tired of seeing our sisters shaking their asses and in the middle of the damn screen and objectifying themselves. I pray I'm using the word correctly. I have daughters. Yeah. Now, here's the thing about that. Back in my 20s, that was perfect.
Yo.
It was perfect. If you're gonna clap it, clap it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get with it. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, if you don't mature, see, a lot of people get older, but they don't mature.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at 52, if I'm still like, ass clapping for real at 52.
Hey, they might be able to, them BBL.
Hey, I ain't even mad at you. I done seen some of this stuff on these little other platforms and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, man, because I got little girls and I have granddaughters. I have mostly granddaughters. I have 8 grandchildren. Wow. And let me see. I got 1, 2. That's it. I got two grandsons and the rest of them girls.
6 granddaughters.
And I've seen, some of my granddaughters, hey. Because I was watching them. I watch my, grandkids when I go back home to Chicago. And they listen, I was like, what is that? Yeah. Oh, Papa, we was just, Papa, hell, take that off. Because I will kick you down them damn stairs. Because ain't no ass popping in here with Papa. That's not what we gonna do.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because if you don't stop it now, you know what I'm saying? But I understand people make their money, how they do their thing. Hey, look, I'm not going to, there's just certain things. Sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And in the state of hip hop, I still love a lot of the artists. I love what you putting out.
Appreciate it.
What we was listening to earlier in the car. Which you gotta let me know how to.
I got you.
I like that you putting out different stuff. Put out something that means something too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Put out something that means something. Don't just put out, what everybody else is putting out, and then you got a lot of cats sound like each other. And I'm like, damn, how many is this the same cat? I done heard 4 different stations. 4 different people. All sound alike. Wow. No originality.
Right.
That's what I'm listening to, man. It's no originality. It's a lot of repeats. Like in my day, you knew who was different. You knew LL Cool J. Nas didn't sound like LL Cool J. Ja Rule didn't sound like nobody but him. Of course, Busta Bus, DMX, nobody sound like DMX. Everybody had their own sound, their own ears. So, man, but hip hop, that's what I think.
But I was gonna say, you talking about how the violence that they talk about, shoot 'em up and stuff like that. And you from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Specifically the South Side.
Yes, sir.
Where I don't want to say all, but the majority of that paradigm shift in music, that's where it came from.
I believe that.
It came from Lamron, O Block, What are these places? I don't know. You know, I don't listen to all of them. I definitely love Chief Keef 2012 to about 2014. Still love him as a a legendary drill artist. But everything under that tree. That Chicago tree, and then it even flowed in, like how you said New York used to feed Chicago. Now Chicago is feeding New York in the sense of New York got their own drill rap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then it went everywhere, just like how once the South took over, everybody started doing the Southern thing.
Right.
But like Chicago has a literally, how they say the four corners of the earth. Chicago is definitely a pillar in hip hop. And that's, could you speak to the south side of Chicago in music at all, or just the south side of Chicago, period?
Well, because when I was coming up, we had cats from the west side doing their thing, some cats from the south side. It was a different sound, it was a different cadence
Yeah.
to it, you know what I'm saying? It was a different cadence. Everybody still had their own cadence.
Yeah.
But we also talked about reality, like a lot of the artists do. Your reality is your reality, which
It's just hard to say that.
No, you know what? I stopped for a second because I'm thinking about the rap that's out now.
Yeah.
Right. And what if that's what they just see? The majority of what you're hearing is what they're seeing.
Yeah, I agree.
So it makes me want to go back and recant some of my statement, because if that's what you see, you're only going to rap about what you see.
Agreed. I agree.
What I would like to see is rap about what you would like to see.
Be the change.
Yes. Be the change. Be the change. Be something different. Talk about graduating college. Something. Whatever happened with just a simple rap, man? Like talk about you was growing up, get your ass whooped, something.
Yeah.
Something simple.
Easy Ice Cube, the storytelling.
Man.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I'm saying? And one of my favorite songs too, man, was we're gonna get back on the south side.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
But man, the ghetto boys, man. I sit alone in my four room staring at candles.
Yeah.
That was when we heard that.
Yeah.
Like my fellas, man, my best friends. I would go to one of my homie's house, and it was nothing but rap.
Yeah.
Right. I listened to rap, but I was more into house music.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love it. I danced that's what people knew me for, was for dancing. But I listened to the rap because we was all hanging out together, and everything they had was what I heard. And it was like West Coast out here, Too Short, because we were just had a compilation of different kinds of genre and rap and hip hop, and you got gangster rap, and you got the whole thing. Specifically for the South Side, when I was growing up, we heard some of everything. We heard some of all stuff, even though we didn't have like a gang of rappers that was getting noticed, because the other niggas was rapping. I gather, but everybody wasn't getting noticed. It was a few and far between, that we heard of.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so once the levee broke on that Chicago rap, then it just was a flood, because it became very lucrative, not only for the rapper, the industry, the labels, literally thrived off of that for about 4 to 5 years. I mean, technically it's still going on, but about a 4 or 5 year span, it was a killing happened, the song come out, the rapper who made that song blow up, the person who they was in beef with, ends up making a song about that person, then they blow up, and then it just literally, it was like a puzzle. Like everybody just started, well, I'm finna beef with him, and I'm gonna beef with him, I'm gonna make a song about it.
Because it was lucrative.
I'm talking about super lucrative, and the labels were eating it up. And then You got DJ Academics. He's a YouTuber, a vlogger, a big celebrity personality. But he had a YouTube channel, and his main thing was the war on Chicago, on Chirac. And he would highlight people that we never even heard of, who committing crimes that we didn't even know about. But we were watching his channel, so now we know. Oh, we know such and such beefing with such and such. Let me go listen to his music. Oh dang, he talking about bruh. Okay, and now the whole world is listening, tuning in, and now they become millionaires. Now they're empowering other people to help them kill and make music.
That's one thing I hated, man. I hated about my city, man. I love Chi. I'm always gonna love Chi. I'm always gonna represent Chi no matter where I go. But them niggas is reckless. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My block ain't my block no more. Them niggas don't know me over there.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? My mama house got shot up last year.
Wow.
Because they thought the cat they was looking for
Was in there. Wow.
And everybody was home, man. They let off like 6 rounds.
Wow.
And nobody got hit, thank God. Because the nigga would have been like,
Yeah.
okay, I gotta go home.
Yeah.
Because this ain't cool. We ain't gonna do all that. And I'm not a violent man. I'm not a violent man. But that doesn't mean I forgot how to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Chi is just one of them spots, man. That it's almost like generations are cursed.
Yeah.
And there's no love in the streets no more. Ain't no following rules.
Yeah.
There used to be protocols.
Yeah.
There used to be rules set in place. These young cats ain't following them rules.
Yeah.
Old hairs is dead or in the joint.
Wow.
Who giving these young cats the game? Nobody. So they make their own up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I went when I was home, and then I'll give it back to you.
Yeah,
I went home. You know what I'm saying? I went to the liquor store to grab me a Snickers. No, I went to the liquor store, grabbed me some apple juice, and pack of Black and Milds, right? So I noticed these cats eyeballing me. I got on my gear, I'm dressed for the crib. And that cat was just staring at me too long. I'm like, what's up, my nigga? What's happening?
Right.
He's like, I don't know. You tell me.
Wow.
And then I seen 2 other niggas lurking. He was like, what you trying to do? Man, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. The nigga shook me because I seen 2 other cats in the back. I grabbed a Snicker and paid for it. I didn't even want a Snicker. I just was trying to get up out of there.
Hey! What?
Yeah, man. It was the first time I had been shook in my hometown like that in decades.
Wow, man.
Cause I already knew.
Wow.
I had on my beige Timbs, my beige Sean John jacket with the fitted socks, cap with the I was gonna have to run all that.
Oh man.
I was gonna have to run all that, and I don't feel safe at the crib rolling around unless I got something on me.
Wow.
So I pick and choose when I move around because I'm not going home and get on probation or go to jail, none of that. I don't need no weapon, none of that. Because if I gotta do all that, then that means I need to change where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how them cats was, man.
And I'm not just throwing the buck at Chicago or nothing like that. I'm just calling out, because I make music, so I'm privy to the stuff that go on in music, and I'm only learning from the people that came before me, like the DJ Academics. I watched his channel grow, his stock, his everything grow from literally the war on Chicago. Every crime, every rapper, everything that was going on in Chicago, he was reporting it faster than the news.
Right.
And he blew up many of these Chicago rappers that are here today. But I can definitely say that being from South Florida, the twerking and the shaking and all of that, that Uncle Luke, He stamped that, like that privacy thing that comes on albums. He had to, just like NWA over here had to go to federal court for the F the Police song. Same thing with Uncle Luke. He had to go to federal court because he was pop that, this, that, and the other.
Right.
And then so now that private parental advisory, that is literally a product of Uncle Luke. And so these twerking and ass to the camera stuff, I can definitely concur and say I seen Uncle Luke grow. Or I mean, I'm only 30, so I seen the tail end of Uncle Luke. Pause. But yeah, so we definitely have part. Everybody has their part. Like maybe the Dope Boy. That's a lot of people wasn't listening to Southern music, so the Dope Boy thing came from New York. The Timbs and the hoodie and the you know what I'm saying, and the coal packs selling and stuff. I you know, this is just off of my knowledge. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments or whatever. But this has been a great conversation. It's a lot of stuff that we touched on, a lot of stuff that we thoroughly touched on or just lightly touched on, but it's this interview is packed with information. And before we go, let the people know who you are, where they can find you, social media wise, and then also what you got going on coming up.
Coming up January 19th of 2024. I'll be doing another one-man show at New Bethel Baptist Church, which is located 2924 39th Street, San Diego, California, 92105. And the title of that night will be It Ain't Just Me. So if you can, tune in. It's going to be live, I believe. It's going to be live on Facebook on the New Bethel page. And then I'll be having stuff coming in and out. My nephew's going to show me how to, plug a few things here or there. But man, if you can tune in, I pray that it touches you. If it upsets you, that's good too, because that means some things you got to work on. But if you can say, man, cool, like Pastor E say, if you got to say ouch, say ouch.
Amen.
We're going to keep it pushing. So, that's what we got going on.
For sure. Appreciate you, Mitch Brad, Uncle Mitch.
Yes, sir.
Love you, man. You already know.
LeeBoi.
You already know it's your boy LeeBoi, and thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share. We'll be back for another episode. You already know, and might have another special guest.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Ghetto. The Ghetto. Point of View podcast, sponsored by
Satellite music.